at the panel here at my hand, where my hand is, this is basically your fuse panel and your breaker box, just like you'd have in the house. So when your generator is running, you turn on the panel. That energizes all the electric in the coach, so all the plugs now work. And it also, the air conditioning just kicked on, which I'm going to show you in a second. This is also where you'd have any 12-volt accessories would come in here. So when you're not on generator and you're driving, all the lights are 12 volts just like you'd have in the car. And then these have circuit breakers just like you'd have in the house, very similar. So the generator's running now, and I'm going to come back up here and I'll show you the air conditioner. The air conditioner's running. This is the original air conditioner, but it runs really nice. There's one air conditioner in the coach. You know, and it's blowing cold already, and I just turned it on. So I had it on a little bit earlier, and I just turned it on. So we're doing well there. So I'm going to shut this off just because, you know what, we don't really need this today. I also use, just so you can see, it's going to be hard to see, I think, but I run a circuit tester in here so you can tell that all the wiring's correct. I also use this when I get to the coach, or when I get to a campsite to show, and I want to show you something in the back real quick. We're going to come back to all this. But while the generator's running, you can see, you know, with no load, it's going to be hard to see. You know, we're pulling a little over 120. When the air conditioner kicks in, obviously it pulls down a little bit. So, you know, you'll balance out between 110 and 120 there. So I'm just going to shut the generator off just to save a little bit on gas. I'm going to turn the breaker off first. And that circuit breaker switch, that circuit tester I showed you, just one you get at the home center. And I shut that off. Just, you know, we don't need to burn the gas if we don't have to. So, but that works great. So last year we drove up to the Catskills and had that running with the air conditioner, and it was a very, very hot day. So we had one of these blinds closed just to keep it cool in the one room, and it did pretty well. I think any bigger than this coach, you definitely want to get into a second air conditioner, but for this, it serves the purpose. Coming down the back, coming towards the back here, at the top we have a mount for a fire alarm, or a smoke detector, excuse me, and a carbon monoxide detector. That's actually here. Just needs batteries. Got to put it back up. I had the batteries out for the winter because there was nobody in the coach. Speaking of winter, real fast, is I actually would start this about once a month and run it just to make sure the engine and everything was running okay. On the wall here, you have a thermostat just like you'd have at the house. There's an onboard furnace that is air, forced hot air. There's a few ducts in the back and a few ducts as soon as you come in the door. That works really well. Works real well. Coming down the one side, that's run on propane. Propane only, so you can use it when you're not driving. Or excuse me, when you're not plugged in. Coming down the side here, there's a cabinet. Now, this used to have a pull-out door with what looked to be those wire shelves on it, and they were sort of, after 25 years, a little sore on the eyes. So we replaced with some just basic shelves real quick, just to get some extra storage in here, so you can see. This closes, so everything stays in there. We talked about the panel already. Coming across the bottom, this is actually where your water tank is, and the water pump. You can see some fittings look new. I replaced. There was never a shutoff, so I replaced put a shutoff in. This way, if you ever have to service the pump, you don't have to worry about draining your tank first. And then the elbows look new here and here. I replaced those at the same time. The water pump actually lives under there. That water pump is used for when you are not plugged into city water, so you need water pressure. And then the faucets will run, the toilet will flush. You can even take a shower. You can be totally self-contained. This is a cabinet here. Now I'm going to turn the light on for you. So you can see you have some hanging storage here. You also, somebody at a later time put some of these wire shelves in for shoes. Hooks here. These shelves will come out real easy in case you ever wanted to get rid of them. Also some drawers here, so you know, for socks and things like that. We actually you see some clothes in here from time to time, so if we want to go, we don't have to worry about packing. You know, they're already here. So an old jacket, if you've got some old jackets or old clothes, you know, you don't want to have to keep packing all the time, just keep them in here. So working down the right side of the coach, this is a self-contained bathroom. You have, I'm just going to close, you have the sink here. The faucet is brand new. I put that in within the last 2 years. It's a regular home faucet, so you could go down to Lowe's, Home Depot if you ever needed to service it, anything like that, and anything should twist on to the spout here in case you ever wanted to add a diverter or something like that. And somebody previously put a 6-way plug in here, and I plugged in like I showed you earlier. I'm just going to shut this shade just a little bit so you can see. There we go. That's a little better. And then open up the shade just a little. Like I said, this has blinds in here, so you have privacy when you're using the bathroom, or you just want to keep the blinds down. There's a window here to let the breeze in. Yeah, coming up, little storage there. Somebody put in at one point, and there's a mirror here, and then some storage in a cabinet here for shampoos and soaps and things like that. Put this back up. You can see the window here. Toilet. Toilet is self-contained. It's winterized now. That's what you see pink in there. It's been winterized for the winter. I winterized it. Shower in the back. This originally had a plastic bifold door, which quite frankly took up a little bit too much room, but I still have it. It can go with the coach if you want it. This is just a regular shower curtain that we cut down. Now you have regular shower with the wand. The wand shuts off at the top just like the RV, so you can shut off, save water, so you rinse out, lather up, and then turn it on to rinse. There's a telescoping rod in here for when you're not taking a shower. It's great for towels, bathing suits, things like that. There's another rack in here. You can actually sit a little bit. I'm about 6 foot, and I fit no problem. Is it as comfy as big as your shower at home? No, but you're not towing your house either. So, the bathroom here has a bifold door, I guess you'd call it, and that closes, so you can have privacy obviously when you're in the bathroom and shower. So the nice thing about this is somebody can go in, take a shower and everything like that, and do what they need to do, and not have to worry about privacy or anything like that, or going into a bedroom. The pink stuff you see at the bottom is the antifreeze coolant that goes into the system for the winter. Coming down to the back, this is a 3/4 bed. This is literally brand new within 2 years. The one that was here wasn't that nice, so you can see how thick it is. There's my hand there, so you can see how thick it is. There's a little bit of storage underneath. This goes clear that way also, so we have a fan and a step stool, and I have some rain gear in there. You can see one of the blower outlets for the furnace. There's the other one, so the bathroom stays warm if you happen to be camping when it's cold. Up top here, there's more compartments and some compartments here. I will be honest with you, that's where there's some water damage in that compartment. So you'll see that it is, a little bit in there, but I'm going to clean all that out and re-put the piece of wood back up. So it looks a little nasty now, but it'll be fixed. Or if you'd rather do it, I'd rather leave it open and show you when you come to look at the coach rather than think I'm trying to hide something. More cabinets here. We keep games and things like that, but you could definitely put clothes, sheets, things along that nature. This is what's called a 3/4 full. Underneath here is also where the hot water heater is. Right now there's actually a bypass installed that bypasses the hot water heater when you winterize, so you don't have to fill up 6 gallons of coolant. You just bypass it and drain the water heater. I showed you that earlier with the rust inside the water heater. That's where that comes from. Lighting, somebody put in an extension cord so you could hang a fan or something like that if you wanted to over here. Once again, all these lights will run, they're just like your regular lights in your car where you turn on the dome light. It's the same idea. It all runs off 12 volts. This is sort of a Winnebago, I forget what they call it. It's a Winnebago option. That is basically like rear heat that you'd see in a sport utility vehicle or a station wagon. And what that does is when you're driving down the road, there's a blower, and where my foot is a little mini, almost like a radiator, and right here. And what that does is it allows you to turn on heat back here without having to run your furnace, and it uses the engine's coolant cycles all the way back here. And you can adjust the level so you can have some heat back here while you're driving instead of having to run the furnace all the time and using propane, the LP gas. Here we have the fridge. The fridge, as I mentioned, will run on electric or gas. It's determined right here. So you swing it one way, swing it the other. Freezer. It's not the biggest, but it keeps stuff cold. We've had ice cream in there, so it's not terrible. And the fridge. Fridge isn't bad either. It has some compartments in the bottom, just like you'd have at home. One thing about the fridges and RVs, and the people will tell you, they don't recycle and recover as well as your one at home. So what they recommend is if you're going to be in and out of it, maybe get a cooler for drinks and then be in and out of this. But we've had this packed full of food when we went down to the NASCAR race, and it did fine.